It's 1 o'clock.
Sounds good.
Here we are.
We are.
I was expecting to have another thing showing. See, she tells me stuff I don't even listen. Hey, everybody, it's Friday, and it's having fun with J&J time. We are here, and we are going to have a great time.
You don't even introduce us anymore. Hey, this is Jenny. I'm
Because
Jeanette.
everybody knows.
I know. Well, you know.
Okay, so
people.
Jen, you could say you're Jen and Jean, but that would be awful. So I'm Jen.
I'm Jeanette.
That's Jeanette. I never know which way to point. And we are here, and for the last, I don't know, a couple months, we've had some crafters, but we've had a lot of like business people. And today, Jeanette, because she loves me, she booked. It's because it's my craft. I used to quilt, and I kept telling her we're not getting anybody like quilters, or And here she brings us the most wonderful quilts by Ruth Dilts, and we're so excited to have Ruth here and Margaret. They work together on their quilts.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a great time. So welcome everybody, and go ahead, Jenna. Take it.
I made a cute rhyme with her name, Ruth Dilts, the ones that make quilts. I did that. I love doing that. I like.
It's really sad how we crack ourselves up.
Anyway, I met Ruth through Sylvia. Y'all know her because we have her on her commercials. She's a nonprofit organization of You Matter Too. And I met Ruth through Sylvia when I lived in Indiana. See, I've been all over the place. So this is how we met. And then we always kept in contact. And then Ruth told me about Sylvia, and then we were going back and forth. So, and I didn't know that she made quilts. And I was like, whoa, you need to be on our show. She goes, okay. And I said, how about this Friday? She goes, yes.
Yay.
We got her. So this is now her. And then your friend is called again. I'm sorry, I'm awful with names.
Margaret.
Margaret. So Margaret and Ruth are here with us today, and she'll tell us all about her. I'm gonna let Jenny take over from now while I do all the techie stuff. Go ahead.
Well, Ruth, I wasn't allowed to interview you before because I get all the info and I get in trouble. So all I know is that you make quilts, they're beautiful, and that you're from Indiana. So I'm gonna let you. Jeanette usually starts off with like how you got started a little bit, but tell us about your quilting and actually like how you started quilting. Have you always quilted?
Well, I'm Ruth Dilts. I have been quilting since 1985, so that's a long time. Yeah. I'm also a retired staff sergeant and disabled veteran, and I still for therapy for my PTSD. However, some of my physical beings is limiting nowadays. So my best friend Margaret here, don't ask me to ask her name. I'll let her tell you.
It's Rosensky.
This long. Anyhow, my partner does all the cutting, and we come up with crafty ideas for the quilts. When I'm sewing, I'm not thinking of negative things.
Right.
I have been sewing, like I said, since like 1985, like when I first entered the military. I remember one of the first things I made was a baby quilt for my first niece or nephew. It was a niece, and I just loved it, and I've done it since then.
When you got out of the military, did you sew before, or is this?
Yes.
So you were sewing before.
I was sewing before.
We have so many vets, men and women, that Jeanette's one of them, that find that crafting, whatever form it takes, is such a great therapy.
It is.
And I know you probably don't think of it as a business, but we like to encourage our especially our military to use it as a business. But if it's your hobby, it's fine.
Well, I can explain why it's our hobby. Um, Margaret's grandfather was in the military as well, correct?
Yes, and my mother.
And we are both part of You Matter Too,
Mhm.
which is the nonprofit with Sylvia King. 2 years ago, I started making the ride quilt for their annual fundraiser.
Oh, I
They
remember.
asked me to, and I sat in the corner and watched for that first ride and just watching the people. I'm like, I want to be part of this.
That's the motorcycle ride, right?
Right, yes.
Okay.
And so
give a little brief thing about it. Every year
we do an annual fundraiser, a motorcycle ride. This year we're doing our first poker run. We've been You Matter Two's 9 years old.
Wow.
9 years old. And this year, matter of fact, this is the quilt that is being auctioned online through Zephy, and I can send you the QR code to raise money for You Matter Too. I personally cannot have an income. Therefore, 100% of everything we make, 100% goes to veterans at You Matter Too and first responders.
Wow.
And everybody, if you don't know, You Matter Too is an organization. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but they help vets with housing, furniture, jobs, just getting back to it. You don't have to be. It doesn't matter if you're an older vet or you're a younger vet. If you're having issues with anything, transitioning from one thing to another, You Matter Too helps them get whatever they need to get started again. Is that right?
Yep.
That is correct. And we have no boundaries. We've helped Florida. Margaret and I went down last November to give a veteran's wife respite so that way she could have rest. I mean, she was going on how many years of taking care of him? And she was worn out and we could see it. So we paid for it and went down and gave her a week of respite.
That's awesome.
So and that was on us, but that was okay. We've helped several up here. We've helped one down in Texas that I know of, and several, and there's actually somebody down there wants to open up a satellite of You Matter Too.
Awesome.
Wow.
Not in the works yet. Not in the works yet.
Texas, we have lots of vets here. Lots of vets.
We got vets in Texas, in Florida too, retired.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah. Wow. That is amazing.
So when you're doing a quilt, do you guys plan it, or do you figure out I want to do this, or do you take custom orders? How do you work it?
Primarily, most of our quilts are custom ordered. People will get a hold of us on our Facebook feed and say, we need this. Or when Margaret and I are out doing events, we do events. I pay the rental fee, and still 100% goes back to You Matter Too. Okay. We get orders through them, and we get some information from them, colors and themes and what are you looking for and size and this and that. And then I go to I use, what's it called? Graph paper, and we lay it out. And then from there, we'll say, okay, this is how many blocks we need. We have a general size block of 15 inches that we use to cut. The funnest parts are the t-shirt quilt. Quilt. We just did one.
King size front and back of t-shirts from a young lady who was graduating college, and her parents had kept all of her uniforms through t-ball age all the way through college. Pants, shirts, tank tops, they had it all. And it was a front and back king size quilt that we had made.
Wow.
That was heavy.
I know, right?
Yeah. We've got a young lady that we met at event a couple events ago that was pregnant, and she wanted to have a quilt made from her oldest daughters, which it was, she's 3 or 4 or something like that, clothing. And I'm saying, okay, we'll hook up. But she ended up having the baby, and it's a little side thing. But whatever you want us to make, we've always come up with it. We've never turned anybody away.
That's awesome.
We do,
yeah. Pattern, because I'm looking behind you. What are those, like 3-inch blocks, 4-inch blocks?
These are okay. These blocks here are from a panel. This quilt is called Sound Off. Sound Off because it's got the little panels. United States of America, God bless America, Freedom Ring, we're proud of you, thank you. I mean, just think, we salute you. Things veterans like to hear.
Yeah.
Or first responders, because they're doing their job too.
Right.
They sign that line too.
Right. Yes,
So it's a queen size, and then if I can get this, and this
I like the back.
back.
Yeah. So that's a tie quilt, right? It's not a
yes.
Okay.
We don't have a quilting machine yet. However, we do have somebody that mentioned to me that her mother had one. And when her mother finds out what Margaret and I do, we may end up with it.
I'm
so excited.
I actually used to do baby quilts just because I used to hand quilt them, and I could put it in a circle. I could put it in a clamp and do it that way, because the big ones are so heavy. But I would kill for a very.
I have a question as a non-quilter.
Yeah.
Okay, because quilting has their own language. Every craft has theirs.
Yeah, we start to.
What's the difference between what she has hanging on and the question that you asked? If it's thick quilt, what's that?
Okay, way back in Revolutionary time frame, they didn't have a quilting machine to make the pretty designs on the quilt. When it's smashed together in the designs, they use I don't know if we can grab a red one here. I got the curtains too. We got one handed. Yeah. Can you see this?
See, they're a little string.
Yeah.
And they're attached
when you're
from one to the other.
You have 3 layers. You have the top, you have the batting in the middle, and then you have the back side.
And then you tack them throughout. What I like about the tacking is it, if you want to snuggle it, you can pinch it a little bit, and it's not hard.
It's a what do you call a sensory thing for people that want to touch something.
Yeah. My granddaughter loves the quilts I've made for her. So
it's really the thing. And Ruth and I were talking about this a little bit before. The history of quilting in the United States is because it's cold. I mean, the settlers didn't come into California; they came into New York, and they came into Connecticut, and all the freezing places. And so they had to figure out a way to stay warm in their beds. And it was almost all homespun, and they didn't have, they took clothing and they took whatever they had. Big textiles weren't really that available. So they started piecing things together, and then they put batting in between so that they would stay warm. Right. And the tie quilts were the easiest ones for them to do. To keep them all together. So
we've got a couple more we'd like to show you.
Yeah, bring them up.
All right. This one here is a twin. I sewed it through a couple years ago, but I thought I'd love the colors.
Oh,
this is a 5.5-inch block.
That's your kind of quilt.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Big dice.
What?
It's the color and the
I believe the back is the back. I use it. I like to use an Egyptian cotton on the back. It's really nice. So that's a twin, still available. Yeah. We take, like I said, that isn't the 15-inch blocks, but all of our fabric in the last 6 months has been donated.
I was going to
find out what we ask, what we do.
I have a question.
Yes.
My question, because it just pop up questions. So let's say a person goes, hey, I want to order a quilt. It has to be king size, but I really don't know what to get, or I don't know what to order. So let's say I'm the customer. What kind of quilt do you think I would like?
Okay, the first thing I would ask them is, what are your hobbies? What are your favorite things in life? What's your favorite part of nature? Give me a color you like. Do you like baseball? And I just elicit,
Uh-huh.
to see where they're at. And then I've taken and made. There was a police officer, and one was another police officer having a baby. So I said, he says, I want something policey. That's all he said.
Policey.
Okay. So I made him one, and he loved it.
Wow.
I mean, I have only had one person reach. I did a cushion one time, and she had returned it because one of the seams had blown out. Okay, I don't fight with nobody.
One of the seams?
Here's your money back.
You didn't know how to sew? Because I would have just sewed it myself. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, anyhow. I'm not going to fight with anybody. If you're not happy, I'm not happy. So anyhow. Another thing we do is we use the 15-inch blocks, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, sometimes you have extra blocks. What better way
Pillows.
to use those is the pillows.
Pillows.
Oh, I love it.
Beautiful.
Sister loves sunflowers. Take that pillow. I'm going to buy it. He's not looking.
Yeah, so we do pillows. And a lot of the smaller stuff we do at the events, but we'll take orders, for sure. And
I also saw on your Facebook page the quilted bowl.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah.
So we make things as small as a little coin purse.
Oh no, so
Cute.
Margaret, this is Margaret sewing. She doesn't sew much, but she does the bookmarks.
Isn't that cute?
Slide your page in there, and you can turn your book,
Yeah,
your pages.
yeah.
We all know the tissue, the plastic gets wrapped up, right?
Mm-hmm.
This keeps it from getting unraveled.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that.
This is something that many people like to buy for stocking stuffers because they got to have something for the kids to do, right?
Right.
So it is a tic-tac-toe board. It comes with 2 different colors and a little bag.
Isn't that cute?
We have little zipper pouches. There
Wow,
we are.
I like that.
And I think, yeah.
I love it.
The inside.
Oh, nice. It's deep. That's good
And
for
those little things you was talking about, Jenny, we call them bowl cozies with a Z.
Somebody
I don't have a bowl handy. But one week we made 60 of them. This is the 10-inch. Now, see, if they call me up and say, Ruth, I want bowl cozy, I say, what pattern do you want? What size do you want? We can do 8, 10, 12, and we've done a 15 that holds plates. This is for a normal size bowl, okay? Would sit in there. And the neat thing about these is you can stick it in your microwave and it won't burn up because it's 100% cotton.
That's awesome.
So we have those.
Everything.
Wow.
This is my favorite. This is my own creation. It's called a tidy turtle.
We were
little kids and they spilled their milk, right?
What's a tidy
Throw
turtle?
them the tidy turtle and say, clean it up. They're more likely to clean it up with their tidy turtle.
Oh,
and what do I use it for? I'm somebody that sweats all the time. I don't have to rub because it soaks it up. It's got a special little fabric right here. It soaks it up.
I know that towel that you just go like that and it just picks it up like that.
One of our favorites is the pads. We can make any size pad, hot pad, bowl holder, we call it plate pad, any of them. And we can even do themes. One of our favorites is the potato bag.
The who bag?
my language.
Potatoes have bags?
Yes.
Keeps
You
them
know how you wait 40 minutes to boil the potatoes, right?
Yeah.
You take this bag and you take your 1, 2, or 3, whatever will fit in here. Wrap your potato. Don't stab it. Wrap it in a damp cloth. Stick it inside here. put it in your microwave, cook it 2 minutes at a time. It's done in 8.
Wow.
I just learned how to make a potato. I didn't know there was a potato.
But this has to be 100% cotton too.
And I love baking potato in my microwave. That's a potato. That's it. I'm making a list.
So those are some of the items.
Have you thought about bread bags?
Bread bags.
So
Put it on the list.
So they should be linen or cotton.
Okay.
They're pretty easy. So there's a big thing to make sourdough bread and fresh bread.
Yeah.
So if you have the bread in a cotton or linen bag, it keeps it from molding quicker because I hate to tell you people, if your bread's good after a week, it's got a lot of preservatives in it. So that's why people used to bake bread every day because the bread would go hard or bad. But I'd love to see some red, white, and blue bread bags for people. And I'm sure there's.
And they're made out of linen or cotton. Is that correct?
Linen or cotton. You can look it up. And I think there's probably a lot of bread bakers out there that don't sew.
We could call it the Jenny bag. Being called the Jenny bag.
Look at that, Jenny. You get a bag. Only on this show do you get a name after your.
I know, right? It's better than getting a sandwich. Now I'm hungry again. But
I'm writing my list down.
She is Margaret. Look, she's writing the list.
She always does.
I got my pillow.
I was thinking, gosh, I wonder if I should go try and make them. And then I'm thinking, what are you crazy? I've got no time to make anything. I don't sew anymore. Just because I still have, Ruth, I still have my Kenmore. It's never been in a case. I've always just carried it around. I've had it since my oldest daughter was a year old. She's 42 now.
Oh, wow.
Same machine. And it has created everything from quilts. I made baby quilts for them and my grandkids. All my interiors, my drapes, everything I slip covered. Every Halloween costume, every dress, the same machine. And everyone says, why don't you get a new machine? I'm like, why? This one's not broken.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean,
I haven't brought it out for a long time. So I was thinking, I wonder if I could make bread bags, but it's actually the rage now. I'd love to see your little, do you have a little
tag
for your stuff?
Yeah, and one of them says made with love and not perfection, and the other one has a Bible verse on it.
Awesome. I love it.
So let me tell you what happened right quick. Short story. 2 years ago, I had a massive amount of quilts. I didn't have Margaret at the time. Massive amounts of quilts Christmas time, right? Everybody's calling up to the 20th of
December.
I had burned through 2 brothers.
Ooh.
Melted them.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. They didn't have any more brothers. I didn't have a repair person. Ran up to the local store. It's not there anymore. And I said, I need a machine and I need it now, right this second. I'll be sewing in the car, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Sounds like Jenny scanning, faxing.
Yeah. And my husband called me up and says, I'm tired of you burning up these brothers. I mean, I would burn up 2 brothers a year.
They couldn't
so much sewing.
Yep.
He bought me a Juki QTL 1800. Man, it's industrial. It's all metal, and it could do it.
That's
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
I still keep a brother.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds cool.
Well, it's hard because when you get into quilting, and if you're doing any kind of machine quilting like that, it's just consistent. And I'm not really big. I'm really bad on oiling it and stuff. But my Kenmore is metal. See, the new machines are
oil it.
Plastic, so you really can't melt it. But I've gone through needles, where I'm.
Yep.
So it's and the girls now have some really awesome machines. They've got the Husqvarnas and the you can spend literally $7,000 on a sewing machine now.
Wow.
Yes, you can. I didn't spend that much, but I sure am happy and have not had an issue. Not one issue.
Yep.
Matter of fact, today, right before we came on the air, Sylvia has this canvas swing chair for camping,
Right.
and it was ripped. I said, Margaret, grab the chair. We went downstairs and sewed it up, and it's now fixed.
See.
Aw.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So what is your favorite? Do you remember a favorite quilt that you made?
And she's thinking and thinking. And
There
she's
was one I made my brother.
oh.
It was Blue Fire.
Ooh.
Blue Fire Flames. Similar to this, but it was Blue Fire Flames.
Mm.
And I think I may have sent it. I don't know. But he was living by himself and missing his kids, so I made him one.
Oh.
And he kept it on his bed with his son's toys, with his son's stuffies. And that one meant the most. The other one I can talk about is I had somebody get a hold of me 4, 5, 10 years ago, maybe. Brain fart. Anyhow, they had a friend that had cancer, and her favorite color was light blue. That's why I love the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, how can I help you?
Mm.
And she said, can you make us a quilt and put on it, live, life, love, or however the 3 go.
Love, laugh, yeah.
I made her one.
Uh-huh.
She passed away,
Uh-huh.
and the friends still contact me. One that Miss Margaret and I made, 2 of them actually. That gentleman we went down in respite for, down in Florida, we had made him, before they had moved to Florida, we had made him a throw. He had Alzheimer's, dementia going, MS, and he wouldn't let go of that quilt. Tell him the story about trying to wash it.
He had ended up spilling something on his throw, and his wife needed to wash it. Well, Ron he's kind of like Linus, is what his wife had said with that throw. And he literally acted like a little kid because she had to wash his throw.
Oh.
So in November, when we went down, it was the surprise that I even went. We did not tell her I was going.
No.
It was the surprise. We had shirts made. I am Hubs.
I'm with
And
Hubs.
she's with Hubs. Her husband and her had pictures taken that morning with the shirts on, to where Penny thought that Hubs and her were going down for a convention. Okay. Well, we made Ron a quilt to take with us. So that way, when he would spill something, or, he was in and out of the hospital. So of course, she needed to wash it when it come home. So we made another throw for him. So that way he had a backup. Yes.
Oh.
And when he passed this March, they actually had him cremated with his blanket.
That gives me chills, okay? If we can create something that means that much to a veteran, I'm sorry, here I go, ladies, means that much to a veteran, and it all comes from here and from his wife's heart, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Quilts are the best.
Yeah.
They're such a comfort. If you talk about comfort food, they're a comfort item.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's made by somebody, it's even better. And
right, instead of Walmart,
go through so much, and there's so much in their head. And when they get something that consoles them and gives them comfort,
similar to Quilts
awesome.
of Valor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a organization called Quilts of Valor, and the ladies make quilts for veterans. I was honored last year.
I saw that Sylvia's page, right?
Yeah.
Now
I was one of the ones honored last year from Quilts on the Bend to Quilts of Valor last year. So the thing about Quilts by Ruth Dilts, we don't save any money. We don't make any money. It goes to veterans and first responders that sign that line. And you know what it does? It helps this veteran make it. There was a point in time 3 years ago, I was over 300 pounds, stared at 4 walls, did not communicate, could not walk 500 feet. Today, I am up doing, I'm serving veterans and first responders. I'm out in the community. I'm walking over 3,000 steps. It changed my life. And when I incorporated the quilts in it, that made my life. I have a purpose now. I have a purpose to sew quilts for veterans and first responders, and or to create things that will benefit veterans and first responders.
Well, with that good ending, we're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back with Ruth Dilts, the one that makes quilts.
And Margaret.
And Margaret.
Hold on.
Mass production and fast trends. Some things still deserve to be made the right way, by hand, with heart, and with a story that lasts a lifetime. At Beaver's Workshop, every handcrafted pen, gift, and decor piece carries the soul of craftsmanship, forged from the finest local and exotic woods, shaped with care, and polished with pride. Founded by Jeffrey Beaver, a proud retired combat army veteran, Beaver's Workshop honors tradition, service, and creativity. Every curve, every grain, every finish tells a story of resilience, of dedication, of craftsmanship born from a life of purpose. Whether you're searching for a timeless gift, a symbol of gratitude, or a keepsake that feels as meaningful as the moment itself, Beaver's Workshop is where memories are handcrafted. Our pens don't just write, they speak volumes. Our gifts don't just decorate, they inspire. And our craftsmanship? It doesn't just show, it lives on. Shop small. Choose hard over hurry. Celebrate American craftsmanship with a piece made just for you, at Beaver's Workshop. Find us online or at artisan events near you, and experience the pride, the passion, and the story behind every treasure. Handcrafted with honor. Built to inspire.
Love
That's
that.
one of our bets. The last one's Jeff. Hey,
Mhm.
Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, somebody took my pen.
Yeah, you take his pens, boy. Those are beautiful.
I was not happy.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here's my pen. You're gonna like this one. It's a rifle.
Yeah.
This and
I
the
see.
That's one of Jeff's pens.
Yep. That's his pens. And it comes with this cool case that looks like a gun case.
It's awesome.
Isn't it cool? So yeah, we always like to say hi to him and stuff. But yeah, those are our vendors that we see that were so creative and we wanted to show in there and stuff. So
Well, you know what you were saying too before, I think it's all part of the crafting community. But when you give to other people, you do get back.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point. Crafters have always been like that. And it's always been a way to not just express yourself, but to heal and to, sometimes when you're having issues, you can't focus because there's all the noise out around you. And when you're doing something like quilting or making the pens or what Jeanette does with her resin, her clocks, you have to stay focused on that one thing to get it right. And I think it really does help. So it's helping you emotionally, physically, mentally, and then you're giving to other people.
It helps me spiritually as well too.
Yeah. So it's a great thing. And quilts are they're one of my. I have an auntie that quilts. She's 90. I'm not gonna tell you how old she is, but she's amazing. She gave everyone a quilt. I have one in the other room that I don't even touch because I wanted to keep it. But she gets together with her ladies and they do quilting parties still. That's people don't know what that is. In the old days, say a woman was getting married, and they would set up her house for her. And all of the women in the town would get together and they'd make a patch and they'd bring it for the new family, for the new bride. And once the top was made, they'd all get together and they'd hand sew sections of the quilt. And so they would have a quilt to be able to put into the box, the hope chest, they used to call it. And then the bride and groom would have a new quilt for their bed to do their house. So there are still women mostly that get together and sew. The Amish do this. They sew the tops of their quilts, makes quilts for their neighbors and friends. So it was a great place for people all over the county who didn't see each other very often to get together and create something for one of their neighbors. So it's really an amazing art as a craft, but it's also such a part of our Americana, and everybody loves them. And you can make them very old-fashioned, or you can do the ones you did, like I said, look like Jeanette would like that because she likes it. I'm more country. She's more city bad.
We got you covered. We got you covered.
I got
huge donation.
Because I am from Southern California, Ruth. So I do got some South in me, but Jeanette's more New York.
I am New York all the way.
Hey, I was born in Massachusetts.
We got Jeanette
military brought me here.
Do you like the sauce? And I'm like, no, I
want the can of Harvard Yard. Hit the can.
Yeah. Good thing you're not a Maine.
Oh Lord!
I stuck out like a sore thumb in Maine. I don't know why, but they knew right away I was not indigent.
You think?
I was probably indigent, but not indigent.
Oh no!
That is so funny.
So, did you start out knowing to quilt, or
no?
Did you? Okay. So, what was your first quilt? Was it like a 9-piece? Was it just blocks?
It was maybe about 3 feet wide and about 2.5 feet. I measured the baby, okay?
Baby
Baby quilt for my niece.
Yeah.
And I put batten in the middle, and I put a cover on it, turned it inside out, and I'm like, well, maybe they can use this in their car seat. Well, it's hard to use one of those in your car seat when it's just plain.
Right.
But if you take it and fold the half to half here and put snaps, you can put snaps in certain spots where the legs can come out and the head can come out. That's what I started with. I made that myself. So
That's awesome.
Wow, that's neat. Now, can you put pictures on quilts and with the iron on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I made Sylvia several quilts with pictures.
Last year.
Last year, her mother's birthday. Yeah, last year was her mother's birthday. And to surprise her, she gave me some pictures she wanted. So I had them outsourced here locally because I'm a local kind of person. Outsourced here locally. Brought them back, and Mom's favorite color was
Purple.
Yellow.
It was yellow.
Yellow, yeah, the yellow one.
Oh.
Anyhow, we got all the pictures, and she wanted You Matter Too in the middle, so we put you in.
Okay.
But yeah, I just got to find somebody because that person.
And you do the monogramming too, right? The letters.
I have outsourced for the monogramming.
Okay.
Because I do have a patch machine,
Embroidery machine.
embroidery machine. Sorry, I lose my words sometimes. I'm not.
I think I got a way. You can fix that. If you get iron-on letters, they're like 4 inches. There you go, and you iron it on your.
But here's the thing: when you iron it on,
Mm-hmm.
it peels off.
Oh.
I want something solid.
Okay.
I want something solid. So I do have a local person here in town that does my quick embroidering. She also helps me with the memory pillows that I make. People will bring me a shirt or a pair of pants or whatever and make a memory pillow. Okay. Memory pillow. Okay. I made 5 memory pillows for my dad's clothing. And basically it's either a shirt, t-shirt, whatever. And you make it into our 14-inch pillows that we use. And I can use different ones. But on the back it says, peanut butter. But anyhow, it's got a nice little quote on the back. Yeah. When you're in fear, hold me near and know that I'm closer.
Oh,
a real nice one like that. I can't think. Sorry.
Oh, wow. I've heard of that. Well,
Ruth, I want to ask you real quick, Joanne's, when that, I know.
Oh, I know.
So people don't know what we're talking about. So that the main fabric store all over the United States was Joanne's Fabrics. There's in a couple of towns you can find some smaller light fabric stores, but Joanne's, especially their quilting fabric, you don't want to spend $10 a yard on quilting fabric. It just, especially, no matter if you're making it for a friend or whatever, it's not
economical.
And so I'm just trying to find out where people are going. Are you able to go online now?
I use Etsy a lot for certain things, especially panel quilts. Panel quilts are the ones like, they've got a full 28 by 36 panel of Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Somebody wanted Mickey Mouse. Actually, that was a surprise quilt.
Panel one.
Yeah. But that was a surprise quilt.
Well, how about Hobby Lobby?
It's not the same. I mean, they actually.
It's not the same.
They've expanded a little because I went in there the other day. The thing is that Joanne's, if you get a sale at Joanne's, and maybe this is why they went out of business, you can get, it's just, you get half off of $3.99 a yard, and it's, it helps. And
here's the Mickey Mouse one. Oh, peanut butter.
Oh,
that's
can't see it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we can see it.
So I'm hoping that there's someone else comes up, but
Michaels had sent out an email saying that they had absorbed Joann's
Joann's.
fabric and then yarn.
Okay.
So I'm waiting to see. Now keep in mind, I'm in Culver, Indiana.
Oh,
You'd have to go to like,
There's no
No,
Michael's.
for Joann's.
Yeah.
Yeah, the closest for us was Joann's, which was 13 miles up the road. It is now 56 miles.
Yeah.
For Michael's.
And you know, the other thing too is that because Walmart does have a fabric section, but the people that are cutting, like, I'm just like, can you just get out of my way and let me cut it myself? Because they don't know anything.
Or they'll sit there and scrunch it all up.
And I'm like, don't touch it. So yeah, that's a big thing. And people will say, well, just order it online. And I get it. But I want to feel the fabric and I want to see it. Sometimes if it's too stiff or it's not stiff enough,
right?
You got to see how it's going to wash. And it's just, yeah. So I wish they had handled their business a little bit better because there are millions of sewers, of seamstresses that are going, what the heck?
We used to, with all the quilts that we make, we would go into Joann's or I would order it online and go to Joann's.
Pick it up.
But we would have rolls, a 90-inch roll of the batten of like 20 yards for like $60. And now we're going, we got to get a hold of Amazon.com to get a quilting that I can't guarantee is 100% cotton. And
I know. And the batting is so important.
You know, and I'm gonna bring out these companies because my sister, she be finding bargains. But Temu and Shine or Sheen,
yeah,
I mean, they're online. The only thing I don't like about them, they take forever, like 2 weeks to get the stuff. That's the only thing. I'm an Amazon person because I find
I am too.
So I try to get there. But that said, I'm gonna read my poem because I want to go ahead. It's about that time. You know, it is about that. It's about that time.
Already?
Okay, rewrite. It's called The Path to Achievement. Okay, on the path of achievement, where dreams take flight, walk with a purpose, embrace the light. Challenges may come, obstacles may appear, but with determination, success is near. Visualize the summit, keep your goal in sight, work hard, strive with all your might. Success is a journey, not just a race. Enjoy each step, savor the grace.
I love it.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's very fitting.
Yes.
I said it because we're now talking about finding these quilts. We can't give up because you know that is an old skill, a history skill of making quilts. And I've never had one. So I've never had a quilt. So that's why I'm eager. No, I've never had a quilt. And I mean, I did get a blanket from Sylvia for Christmas when they gave me a basket. I got enough, but it wasn't a quilt. So that's why I'm so eager because I'm already thinking about quilts with my kids on it and things like that. So when I pass, I leave them something with their picture and face on it and things like that.
Exactly.
So my mind, y'all talking, my mind is going think. I'm writing like.
Right.
I gotta tell you, Sylvia's husband's birthday was coming up. I won't say it online, but she forgot to get it.
Said it online.
Got a hold of us. I need a Harley quilt. We did a queen size quilt from
Front to back.
Front and back, from the bolt
to
handing it to him in 6 hours. Girls,
that's
we
awesome.
were busting our behinds.
Oh
6 hours. Our hands were going.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going ahead of time, so it's okay.
When my kids were, my son-in-law was, they were in Rota, Spain for 3 years, Navy, and my grandkids wanted quilts, but they wanted specific characters. He wanted Mario Brothers, which was not hard, but she wanted Princess Peach. Okay, Princess Peach is not exactly run-of-the-mill, right? Marcus going.
I don't know what it is.
So it's a character from Mario Brothers. It's the girl, and so
is that like looking for Stitch?
Yeah, and I tend to, and Jeanette will attest to this. I don't ever really follow a pattern. So I was designing this quilt, and I always like bigger quilts. I always think baby quilts usually are small. My baby quilts were bigger because I wanted them to be laid out. You could put the baby on it. And so I made these quilts that were probably 5 feet by 4. They were really big. And his were more red, white, and blue because Mario is that color. Princess Peach was like greens and peachy colors, like pastels. They wore those things ragged. They finally, like, one's 16 now and the other one's 12. And I said, Allison, is there anything left of those quilts? She goes, Mom, it's like one piece. Like they dragged it everywhere. They took it everywhere with them, in the car, and I will say, like, you want to, as a creator, you're like, oh, it's coming apart,
Yeah.
But then you have to think it's so loved.
Yes.
They
Very
love
much
it
so.
so much. But she said, Mom, I'm afraid to wash it again because and they'd say, can you fix it? And I'd go fix it. I'd put it together, and
You're
then
not gonna be able to fix it all the time.
because they literally wore it out.
Yeah.
And as a quilter, I was like, oh, but as a grandma, I was like, oh, my heart. Because everywhere they went, they took grandma with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't able to be there with them when they were in Spain. So, yeah. So it means so much to people. You don't understand how they do get attached to these things. They're very comforting. And I think for the vets, you guys are doing
last summer. Yeah, I was just gonna say Christmas. We both agreed we need to tell this little story. So You Matter Too decided we do Christmas stuff every year. And this year we decided that we were going to serve the veterans in the nursing homes in the local counties.
Aww.
Okay, what are we going to do? Well, y'all are making quilts. We made 56 lap quilts.
Oh my
Oh, I wish I was there.
Oh, and then you got pictures of these veterans holding on the quilt. Not this past Christmas, the Christmas before, I believe his name was Charles. Charles didn't have any family that ever come visit him. So when they went out there and gave him his throw, he cried and says, "This is the most important thing to me right now. It's all I need to hear. I'm good. I'm good. There's my payment."
Yeah.
That's
just so amazing.
Yeah.
That just like gives you chills.
Here's something that people can do that if they're still looking for fabric. Grandma used to sew. Grandma's got a hoard too.
Yep.
These, rest in peace, these older ladies dying are leaving tons of fabric.
Yep.
And good quality fabric.
And yeah, quality fabric. You're correct. Quality fabric. And that's what is being given to us. And
well, Ruth, can you tell people where they can either donate fabric or money, because it takes money to buy fabric, to you? Is there a place online? Is there some place that they can call you or email you?
Yeah. My email is quiltsbyruthDilts@gmail.com.
See it right.
Yeah.
I know you're on Facebook.
I'm only on Facebook again because I can't have a store because I draw Social Security. So I can't have a store, and I don't want a store because we're not keeping the money.
Right.
It goes directly. As soon as we're done with the event, Sylvia gets it in her hand.
Oh,
and we have check marks of what we're selling. We know what we're selling, and the money's marked down. And Sylvia knows she got every penny from us.
That is a blessing in disguise. And, it'll come back to you tenfold. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, if for people who are just joining us and don't know what Sylvia is or who Sylvia is, she runs a nonprofit organization, You Matter Too, for helping the veterans with light bills, home, anything, even cars. It's a wonderful organization. We do have her commercial on our TV, creativespiritchannel.com, and you can say watch, and you can watch there, or you can go to your phone and download the app, and you can pick her commercial and you can see it there. And Jenny is the one that creates all these beautiful ads, and I love it. And it is just amazing how touching it is. So everything is, we care about our veterans, and we're talking to veterans here. And I'm so glad you were able to join us today. We love you. Thank you for joining us today on the channel and telling us your history and quilts. And you'll be hearing from me soon with an order.
Ooh, cool. Margaret, we got work to do.
Yeah, you do, because what I'm gonna order is gonna take a while, and I'm ordering it for Christmas, so you have
Thank goodness.
Time.
you have a lot of time, because
Call me or
you're
email
gonna
me.
tell me, yeah, everything, and I'm gonna order, like, mostly it will be quilts and pillows. And I can't say it out loud for who and what, but yeah, that. And so I'm definitely gonna do that, and I'm gonna make some for my grandchildren too, because I never thought about that. But yeah, leaving some quilts for my grandkids. Oh, you're gonna be busy, honey.
Busy person.
And one other thing that I can say is our prices that we put on our prices. If you go online and look up a queen size t-shirt quilt, they're going to charge you $600. Ours is $3. We're not here to make money, but we are for the benefit.
For the benefit, and that's wonderful, and I'm all about that. So with that said, we're gonna say our goodbyes, and then
bye. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you guys for being on the show. We love you.
You're welcome. Thank you. God bless both of you.
We will see you next week, same time, same channel, and look us up at The Creative Spirit, and we'll put our commercial on and a couple of commercials before we leave. And you can stand by and talk to us, and we'll be right with you. Okay. All right. So everybody else, thank you today for watching. Send us some questions.
Next week. Yep.
Are you interrupting me? Okay, you say it then. I'm not gonna
I just got a yap,
I know, and this is how we have fun all the time. Okay, we love you. Take care. See you next time.
Thank you.
Stars are shining, ooh yeah. Feel the beat, feel the glow. Lost in your eyes, in your